right, I'm changing the subject.
Good call.
Good call.
F-boys, just because I don't cuss on my platform.
All right. She's a Christian woman. She gonna say it. Fuck boys versus simps.
Versus simps. Is there a happy medium?
All right. Do you want to define what a simp is?
Brandon,
Somebody, all right. So I guess I'll do it. So in our generation, it's like simp is a new term. We're talking about in the past couple of years, the term being simp or short for simple is a new term. Being a simp is someone, particularly to guys, that are dedicated to one woman. They're doing all the appealing to her in terms of messaging and chivalry and dedication, and they're doing all the nice and supportive things, and they're being this great person to a woman, and normally they're not getting the same energy and response.
Yeah, it's not reciprocated.
So it's like alpha males versus beta males. The Steve Urkel.
Yeah, Steve Urkel's the perfect example of what a simp is considered. So you have the fuck boys, which I got my own thing about that. Because they're on they're on both sides of everything. If y'all don't mind, I can break down the fuckboy thing as well.
No, I think we got it. I think we know what those are.
Yeah.
Nah, there is. I don't think there's no happy medium. They're on polar opposites, and there's no in between. You're either.
I don't agree. I like to find the medium. So
what? How is there a medium?
Because you gotta have this. It's the same as the alpha male, beta male. Like you gotta have a little bit of balance. Like it's like the gangster that got saved.
That's what y'all be failing. That's exactly what y'all be failing at. Y'all be out here really looking for these super duper Tyler Perry protagonist hero niggas.
For real.
But see, like, just like I'd like somebody who can, if I can make it down to simpler terms, like I like somebody that can dress up in a suit real nice and be like, but then like they can also dress.
The educated thought.
Because gangsters dresses well. Nino Brown was real.
I need a little bit of both. I need a little bit of both in my life.
I need to feel protected. When we're together. But then, like I mentioned, that chivalry and knowing how to treat a woman naturally is.
But I also need you to put me in my place
with a little bit of balance. You gotta be a little assertive with somebody like me anyway, because I am very strong-willed, and I've been living by myself and doing this. I got the single women syndrome a little bit, so I need a little bit of assertive, not aggression, assertion.
All right. When you say protected, you just mean like physically protected?
Right. She wants to beat up somebody, but
physically. I mean physically protective, but also I don't know, should I say like socially, or like if I need you to speak on behalf of me one day, or if whatever's going on and you like, no, my wife says she needs this, like I need you to be able to stand up for us and for me.
Especially
and you don't think a simp can do
family.
it, the fuckboys can
and
do it.
your family. I need to feel that I'm your number one in your life, but I also want you to tell me when I'm wrong. I don't want that person that's gonna always say yes, 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 or oh, what can I do for you? What can I do for you?
This lies.
I need somebody.
She's lying right now. She's sitting up lying like a mug.
Who is?
You and Sherelle.
You almost lied.
Yo,
Wait, no, I'm
okay.
curious. How you fall in line?
People think that just because a simp is a nice guy, then that makes us compatible. Like Laura and Steve really weren't that compatible. He was a good guy. He was kind to her. He was sweet, but that don't mean she had to like him. One thing that sometimes the simps don't have, a lot of times they don't have boundaries. They don't.
You personally know.
Do women like boundaries?
No, we don't. But we need them.
I don't enjoy them, but they are.
It's good to know women don't like boundaries.
Not at all.
I don't enjoy them, but they're necessary. So that's where the assertion comes. Like, I need you to be like, yo, like we haven't spent any time together. You've been at every rehearsal. I need you to speak up.
This is women right here. This is what women do. Women will be like, hey, yo, that's an alpha male. I like him because he's funny, or I like him because he's good at sports, or man, I just like his whole swag, right? Then they attach themselves to you. Then they be like, you're always being too funny, and women is laughing at you too much, and maybe you could tell your swag.
You gonna be funny, not too funny.
Yeah, like they get you.
Same thing that attracted me to you is attracting other women. You need to cut that out.
Like you might attract other women with this shit. So let me.
Hey, men don't do that either. But men don't do that.
Be like,
but y'all don't do that either.
And you be
Men do
like,
the
they
same
be
thing.
like,
All right,
see,
no, for real. Hey, for real. At least you know the men do the same thing.
If I have a flirty personality, and then I start talking to another man, and I seem like, and I'm flirting too much, and it's like, so what? You want that nigga's number? Like you trying to get with him?
Men, no, I agree. Men do the same damn thing.
That's just my personality. I like that fun. If you laughing too hard with him, what you need to touch his leg for? You want that nigga? You can go get him. Like, excuse me, like
you leg touching?
Hold on.
Exactly. See, well, hold on now.
Ain't no joke require leg touching.
Yeah, just like
when
don't
you
require
don't like
that damn
boundaries.
money either.
Women
Just
don't want a good guy till they
like you're corny.
women don't want a good guy till they on their second contract. You know how like a running back, this is how women are. Women are like running backs, right? On their first contract, they just happy to be on the team. You know what I mean? Then they get a couple stats under their belt, you know what I mean? So then they get on a big contract. So they that's when they get their agents, and they holding out on camp, and they ain't coming through mini camp until they got a mutually agreed, you know what I mean, contract. Then they get the big contract. Then they get to their later years, and they get to their third contract. You know, that third contract that sends you out the league. That's when they want their good guy to come around. You know what I mean? With that victory lap contract. You're like, okay, let me get a couple good guys. Where's Leon at? I ain't talked to him since high school. Let me see what Leon's doing on Facebook. Oh, you know what? He go to church every weekend. I'm cool with that.
I don't want a soft guy.
Not now. Not while you still on the market.
No,
Get off the market.
I don't want a soft guy.
Wait. Nah, Sherelle. Let's be for real though. You don't want a soft guy unless he's soft to you.
Like, you got to think about, like, I'm a professional singer, so I'm out and about. I'm at rehearsals. I'm around mostly men at rehearsals or in the studio. I'm out performing at night, so I'm getting dressed, going out at night. Like, you cannot be soft dating a performer. Like, you can't.
Wait, pause. Wait, I gotta say a pause on this though. And the only reason why I gotta do a pause, this is the whole devil's advocate thing. And the reason why I say that is because very often you have women who would like a man who is more in tune with sensitive and emotional issues and whatever. You say you don't want a soft dude. Now you're asking for a balance that's contradictory.
It's not contradictory.
You want him hard towards other men, but you want him soft towards women.
Females not knowing how to control their emotions. Men do not.
You see those nodding his head though. You want him hard. You want him a serial killer towards other men.
Killing me.
But you want him Bridget Jones' Diary towards y'all. Like
y'all do not know how to control your emotions.
You're a script
You
writing
know,
and on extra stuff. All I ask for is a balance. He can't be one way. He can't.
Y'all watch too much
He's not gonna
TV. It
survive
really is.
with me.
I
Like,
don't need to watch TV. I got a man. Shit.
no, I'm saying like, but like, leading up to the point,
Okay, all right.
to the point that you found your educated thug, you was watching way too much TV,
If
and
he
dudes do it
ain't
too.
bad.
Dudes have unrealistic expectations too.
That's
But
unrealistic.
This is why nice guys finish last.
No,
right,
That's
they don't.
exactly
They just have to. They just
why.
have to wait to find a woman who is in her 30s. They find themselves. Seriously,
because
you
you're
can't date no little girl because she don't know what she want yet. When you find a woman in her
let's
30s
not
and
say that.
40s,
Though.
you find what you want. You finally find.
You know,
That's why
just
people
not say
always
that.
end up getting remarried into their 30s and 40s because then they have come into themselves. They have found out what they wanted and what they want and what they're going to accept and what they're not going to.
You're right. A
Once
woman
they
in
get
her
out the hook
30s has
phase,
a
then
much
they
better
know they-
understanding of what
Life.
she wants and how she would like to be treated.
Right.
But it seems that women neglect to mention the damage they cause on the way to the men in their teens and early 20s
let's say
in
something.
order to get there.
That
I
part
know
right there.
y'all ain't talking.
That part
I
right
know y'all.
No,
ain't
wait, hold on.
Nice.
I'm not saying that to say that we haven't done a similar thing where we have damaged women. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that on both sides, it has not been acknowledged when, yes, a woman now knows what she wants. The reason why she knows what she wants is because she's journeyed through knowing what she doesn't want. And very often that has impacted males, period, about how women should be treated. So the complaint about fuckboys has been something that's been a topic of the past 5-6 years mostly. And there was an article by a woman who says that fuckboys are the cause of women treating the good men, the nice boys from teenage years in a bad way because, of liking the bad boy.
So basically, you're saying that it's basically a that's like a manifestation of like male baggage. Like
Yeah.
like when you talk about baggage, a lot of times you hear about female baggage and they've been hurt and they have trust issues and things like that. And as a man, you listen to these things and you try to take it under consideration when you're dating a female. Maybe she's been through some issues in the past,
Which is fine.
yeah, no, but then a lot of what you don't hear about a lot of the time is what baggage that males have, at least, from dating and things like that. I mean, maybe if they lost a relative or something, that's different, but they might be carrying baggage from, dating, and it manifests itself into them then going and being selfish and being, all about just getting what they want, and then
Right. All right.
that's
So I guess in the grandiose thing, I'm responding to the whole thing that Sherelle said about you don't want some dude that's soft. So what do young females do when they're trying to figure themselves out? They choose the bad boy. They choose the bad boy in in high school and college, and that's fine.
Say something. I made
Go ahead.
that statement because I've dated very nice guys. That's what I've dated, and I've had, like, I had a high school sweetheart I was with for 10 years. So like when I'm in something, I'm in it for an extended amount of time, and most of them have been super nice. So I'm saying that from that perspective, but I also want to mention that sometimes people think that just because a person's a simp, that you automatically should be dating them, and that does not mean that we're compatible. We got to think about that as well. Okay, he's nice. He brought some flowers. He ran around the car to open the door 6 times. But we don't get along. Our conversation isn't right.
hold on. Can I put a pin in that? Let me put a pin in that.
Go ahead, Lo.
Let me put a pin in that.
Tell them.
Because if you understand that, don't let that man get on the 6 Cheesecake Factory movie date that ended with a before you can tell him. You should be uncompatible on that first date, but now you trying to milk the cow. Oh, you know,
y'all 8 days in.
let's see how far I can ride.
$400, like $1,000.
And then it's not you, it's me. And he ain't supposed to feel a way about it. Oh, because it's her prerogative. You know, she just decided we weren't compatible.
I don't agree with
Months
that
of me
at all,
spending that coin.
You don't know if you're compatible with somebody the first time that you go on a date with them.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
Whatever.
No, you don't.
You know, from the first time she ordered croutons, you like, I don't like croutons. I don't know if this shit gonna work.
I don't agree with that, because the first time me and John went out together, I didn't like him. First off, me and John's whole relationship started. I did not like him. He was ignorant. He was rude as shit. I did not like him at all. Not even a little.
Crazy.
And he even asked him, like, our whole relationship started over our remote control because we worked together. And all I did was call his phone and ask him where the remote control was. And this nigga got real rude with me and hung up on me. Like, I was like, ooh, what his ignorant ass. Like, that's how I was just like, I don't like you. I don't want nothing to do with you whatsoever. So then, you know, one day he got real nice with me and he sent me a text message. He was like, you left work. He was like, you look like you were mad. What was wrong with you? Like, what's wrong? And it just started a conversation. So we went out on our first day. We went to the bar. We got drunk. At that point, I was like, I didn't know how I felt about him, because I was just like, I still got a bad taste in my mouth from how we first started this talking as friends. Right. So at that point, I didn't know I was compatible with him, because I still had a bad taste in my mouth from the first time that we really even had a conversation.
I love the fact about a remote control. That's an incredible metaphor for how women try to manipulate relationships. They want remote control shit. They're like, hey, this nigga, I'm gonna take him.
So
change the channel on this thing. No, I'm just joking.
But for me, it was just like one of those things where it was like, you know, if I would have went with what you're talking about, Lo, then we and him would have never been together. If I was like, because on the first date, I still wasn't sure. And it, you know what I mean?
We're talking about Simps though. Like, he seems like
understandable, but knowing who he is now, John, he is a very, he comes off, and for the people that know him, like Sherelle, like, he's very soft. You would never expect him to be the way that he is. Like, he has a nice balance to him. He has a very nice balance. He's soft-spoken. He doesn't really say much, but then, like, he has a side of him that you just kind of don't want to mess with.
And you're right. You know what though? And that you know what? I do not know him at all. Personally, at all, I do not know. So that may naturally be who he is, but for a lot of people, you know, knowing that women don't want a soft dude, no matter how much he's caring and he's supportive, and it's a possibility that, you know, a lot of men, especially when it comes to fuckboys, they give this very tough, I don't care persona. They throw this out because they know, like, yo, nice guys finish last.
Is it too much to ask to have balance in your life?
Balance. All right. So
why is that too much to ask for?
Not at all. I think that there's a difference between being nice and giving and generous and listening, and there's a difference between that versus being weak and letting people take advantage of you and always going along with whatever someone else says and not voicing yourself, not standing up for yourself. Like so being generous and giving and caring versus being weak and a spineless and like those are two different things. But I think a lot of times the two things kind of get confused with one another. And I think sometimes if you're kind of too nice, quote unquote, to a woman, she might assume, oh, he's weak. I didn't have to work for his affection or his attention at all. He's not any challenge for me, or he's not something that I would be interested in pursuing because he's just giving away the store right away. Meanwhile, the guy might just be generous. He might be in a good mood. He might not even value what he was giving her like that much. He's just kind of doing it, and he's not a weak guy, but she may interpret it that way. And I think it happens on both sides. I think men might do that to women too, where
It
a
does.
woman is nice to him and he makes all kinds of assumptions about that. So it could go either way. But I think that there's a lot of confusion and a lot of misinterpretation of when someone is caring or when someone is nice. What does that indicate about the type of person they are overall? How does that indicate what's going to happen in the future with this person? And yeah, nobody wants a weak anything. I mean, men don't want a weak woman either. Generally,
Straight
you
up.
want a woman who's somewhat strong, who's going to stand up for herself, who's not going to just let anyone take advantage of her, who's not going to let any guy talk his way into having her care about him. Like, no, you want a woman who's strong enough and who's smart enough to be able to pick out who's toying with her and who's not, and a woman who's focused and on the ball. Like men want that too from women.
So you're saying that a man wants a woman to be just as equally balanced, right?
All right, you know what?
In a way,
Yes.
yeah, I agree with that.
Now I have a question.
Balance.
Now I have a question.
That sounds
Now I have a
like
question.
you don't want somebody who's overly, pushed over on or, anything, but then you want a woman who is also going to, be soft and kind and loving, but then
Sure.
also
Uh-huh.
know
Got a question.
Nobody wants a weak anything.
that,
You
right?
don't want Dominic and
Nobody
Lady.
wants a weak anything.
Well, some
Can't be
people
weak.
do.
So I have a question for y'all though. I have a question. For like
What's
a
your question?
legitimate 100% question. So we all know the phrase, good girls like bad guys, right? We got this whole But I have a question if it's on the in reciprocal. Do you feel that men want this bad chick? Like they want the promiscuous. They want the woman that is.
Man.
You're right. I'm asking on y'all. Do y'all feel the pressure of being some, woman who is, like I said, promiscuous and has some mystery to her and something? Do y'all feel the same pressure on that end?
Well, I think it depends on the stage that you're in. Like in my 30s, no, I feel like a lot of men want the opposite. And I think with that statement you made, like good girls want bad, I feel like that's a thing too. Obviously, it's a general thing, so it doesn't apply to everybody. But I think it depends on what stage you're in life. When you're in your 30s, oftentimes, depending on what you've experienced, oftentimes you're ready to settle down and find somebody you can kind of spend that time, your life with. That doesn't go for everybody, but oftentimes that's the case. So no, I don't feel that pressure to be any of that. Actually, I feel more pressure to be the opposite or prove that I'm the opposite. But because I'm single, I don't always show that I'm the opposite.
Right. Moving is another thing because
Okay, that's good though. So then my follow-up question is, female, when they were 16, do you feel that that's what they want?
No.
There's some excitement in the F-boy. It's fun, it's dangerous, you feel protected, it's entertaining, whatever. So yeah, there are some who want that. Not every girl at 16, but there are some who want that, and there are some who learn from that.
I think it's all
Okay, you're right. At 16, yeah, you may want that.
I feel that it's all whoever your influences are as a female, because just like males, you look up to whoever is influencing you. So whatever, I feel that when it comes to, because like that whole, bad bitch, image that they try to do. Oh, you gotta look sexy, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. That whole image that they have came from social media. It's not, I don't even think it's a real life thing. Like, I don't know any man that wants a high maintenance woman. They're so hard to maintain and have and do for, and it's like, who wants that? I mean, as a female, I don't know too many males that are like, I want this high maintenance female to be around.
Yeah, you say that, but there's a bit of a pride when you can provide for that high maintenance woman. So like, for me, it's like, it's like 50 Cent versus Music Soul Child. So you got 50 Cent, who is, the bad boy doing whatever, and Music Soul Child would be the simp. So you got 50 Cent, who's a fuck boy, and Music Soul Child, who's a simp. Who would y'all really rather have, though?
Well, let me say this. I can't stand 50 Cent. So I'm going to say that. Just in
All right.
If I had to choose, and I already said it 1,000 times that I prefer somebody that has a balance. If I had to choose between the two, it would be the simp.
Right. You want to watch a movie in the back of a van and just chill.
I do.
I don't know if that would be sustainable. I think
that was a good one, B.
I think that the fact that people don't want someone who's weak, and I think that the fuck boy or the bad boy, he's not weak, at least not on the surface. So he's gonna get selected because of that over and above the other person.
Eventually, his issue before the age of 30, he's gonna fail. So the 50 Cent people are going to succeed as the bad boy until 30 years old to get fed up with that when there's no fault.
Right. I just think it's all. I think it's just
honestly, Soul Child. Who follows up
in life.
And they don't want a soft person. If someone they don't want them to be soft. But the problem is they don't give the simp a chance to prove that in situations where it's required for them to step up and be protective.
So I have a question.
Go ahead.
And this is for you and Lo, because y'all both been married before. So I know.
Wait. Both who?
You and Lo.
Me and Los?
Yeah. Y'all both been married before. So my question to you is okay, y'all are now in y'all's 30s. When y'all got married, y'all were in y'all's 20s? Yes? Or were y'all teenagers? Y'all were in y'all's 20s when y'all both got married? So my question to you is that same person that you were with, I know this is broadcasted, so I'll understand if you restraint back, but are you looking for somebody as the same, or are you looking for somebody polar opposite?
All right, so he didn't talk first. I'm gonna talk first. All right, so
because, and wait, before you,
there was like a whole pause. Okay,
hold on, before you answer.
So my response to that question is I am always looking for the balance. Now, if I'm being very honest with the world and myself, I suck at balance. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna get in the camera for this. I am horrible at balance. But at 34 years old, I'm gonna say I'm looking for balance because I need it. So in response to that question, yes, I'm looking for someone, and again, I told you earlier, I guess I'm very extremely special now. And that balance is presented, but that balance is very exceptional and very special with that because it's very needed.
Is it different than what you had?
Is it different? Yeah, it's definitely different.
Oh.
And one day we're gonna have to, all of us, off camera, sit down and get drunk and tell all our stories. Tell all the journeys. Fine. Yeah, right. That's fine. But I will say this: anyone should be looking for someone who's not them, because you matching with someone who's already like yourself, you're not gonna grow at all.
It depends on which ways they're like you and not like.
I'm talking about all the way. You match someone who is all the way, you're not gonna grow. You need to find someone who's enough like you for you to connect with, but
But a
also
polar opposite of what I see. Me and John are opposite. Like, I am not a very patient person. I'm not a person who slows down. I'm on the go, 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 go. And he's Mr. Slow Snail, Mr.
you
Patient
know
Man.
what? I need you to appreciate Mr. Snail.
But I have learned how to be more patient and how to. It's something I'm still working on. It's a work in progress. But it, we
I
are
need you to appreciate Mr. Snail.
no. I need it done, and I need it done now. Let's go. I don't need to
I
wait.
got you. That's what you need.
Waiting.
But see, you don't need that. You're doing that on your own.
Los didn't answer.
Come on, Lois.
Well, I'm gonna be real. I had a real good wife. You know what I mean? I effed that up. But I will say that mostly people need to just look within, because no matter what you find, if you don't take care of who you are and have a great understanding of who you are and do a lot of self-care, man, you could, like I said, I had a bomb wife and just effed it up just because I wasn't straight. You know what I mean? So I could find somebody just like her. I could find somebody polar opposite to her. I could find somebody just like me. But if your mental ain't right, if your spirit ain't right, it ain't gonna work no way.
Guys, I'm gonna change this topic. Listen, we're never gonna move forward if I don't. What about online dating? What's your thoughts on online dating today?